Oh man. Oh man, oh man. We give the people some entertainment.
Destroying America, folks, whether people want to admit to it or not. At first, feminism was sold as a way for women to gain equal status in society, and once that status was achieved, it very quickly morphed into a full-on demolition crew aimed at the family unit, masculinity, and now basically every institution we rely on as a nation. From the army to the church, the feminization of American institutions has paved the road to soft Marxism on one end and a bizarre cultural flirtation with militant ideologies like radical Islam on the other. So today we're looking at what some of these feminists are actually saying, the unhinged rhetoric they're pushing, and what we can expect in the future, because the same rights they fought for just about a century ago are at risk of being stripped from them by their own political choices as they continue empowering forces that undermine Christian morality, theology, and every foundation this country was built on, all while ushering in belief systems that don't persuade with a word, but rather with a sword.
On the topic of the patriarchy, I can't stop thinking about this. Western religion has millions of people devoting their entire lives to a man, an omniscient being in the sky that claims via anecdotal text to have created life and created the world as we know it, when in real life, every day, women are creating eyeballs from scratch, brain stems, human beings. We are creating human beings with our bodies.
Bitch, you are not in like a goddamn laboratory with all of your education and all of your intelligence and all of your fucking knowledge and wisdom fucking piecing together these parts by hand, okay? You get knocked up. Usually not even on purpose. Chill the fuck out.
And men still would prefer to worship a god, a male god, because he claims to have created life. We have no evidence that God created life, and yet women are not worshipped simply because we are women. I'm so done. I'm so done.
Needless to say, everything this woman just said is objectively retarded and not.
So she wants to be fucking worshipped. That's how these fucking females are nowadays, dude. They don't even want to be liked or appreciated. They actually want to be worshipped. The world already revolves around them. We have a complete gynocentric fucking society as it is. But that's not enough. They want to be worshipped as gods. That's fucking mind-blowing, bro.
Not just retarded in a one person ranting to herself into her phone in her garage kind of way. This clip is a perfect snapshot of what happened to the American left. They traded faith for identity politics only to act shocked when everything around them just continuously falls apart. Now, she starts by comparing the biological process of pregnancy to the divine act of creation ex nihilo, as if gestation and genesis are the same thing. They're not. One is participating in a natural design. The other is the metaphysical origin of existence itself. Human reproduction uses materials, that being DNA, and a design that already exists. We don't summon matter, consciousness, soul, or being into existence from nothing. We continue life. We do not originate it. That distinction is a cornerstone of every major theistic worldview. And collapsing it isn't profound. It's just spiritually illiterate. Now, she also declares without evidence that God doesn't exist and that Scripture is just anecdotal text. The irony, the New Testament is one of the most historically verified writings on the planet. Over 5,800 Greek manuscripts, more than 10,000 Latin manuscripts, and over 20,000 total across all languages, far more than any ancient text, whether Homer, Plato, or Caesar. Those manuscripts collectively affirm not only that Christ existed, but that early Christians believed in his crucifixion and resurrection. Calling the Bible anecdotal isn't edgy, it's just historically illiterate at this point. Now, more ironically, this woman demands worship for creating life while championing an ideology that actively destroys it. You can't claim divine status for bringing life into the world and simultaneously defend eliminating that same life when it's convenient for you. It's the core contradiction of modern feminism. Life is sacred only when it flatters the narrative and disposable when it burdens it. And the narcissism, by the way, is just completely out of this world with this woman. She unironically believes that because she experiences something, the entire universe must rearrange itself around her. In this worldview, personal experience outweighs biology, objective truth, and even God himself. Now, to be clear, she isn't dismissing God because she's skeptical. She's dismissing him because he competes with her at the top spot of the universe.
Exactly. So, my bad. I did misspeak. They don't want the entire world to revolve around them. They want the entire universe to revolve around them. Revolve. I think I said evolve.
But look, the real theological ignorance shows when she collapses the distinction between creator and creation. A line drawn clearly across multiple theologies, that being Christianity, Judaism, and even Islam. Humans participate in life, they don't author it. Claiming women deserve worship because they bear children violates the first commandment outright. It's neo-pagan goddess worship dressed up in TikTok language, an inversion of biblical truth. She also ignores the central Christian teaching that life is a gift, not a self-generated product. She talks as if the womb is a machine she engineered rather than something she was entrusted with. All of this makes evident that underneath her whole argument is a quiet attempt at self-deification, replacing God with woman, replacing the soul with biology, replacing transcendence with this weird gender identity, whatever she has. That's not empowerment, by the way. It's just spiritual delusion. Now, when you zoom out completely, this clip clearly exposes where the left currently is. They are scrambling to fill a spiritual void, but refuse to actually look upward or beyond their egos. So they seek inward. They worship their identities, their feelings, their biology, anything except God. They reduce the mystery of creation to just power dynamics. They rewrite morality around whatever biology or ideology is in vogue. This is what you get when a society spends decades teaching people to reject Christianity, reject tradition, reject family, reject masculinity, and enthrone the self as God.
This dude's a fucking talker, bro. I'm surprised I haven't heard of him already. What did I just do?
Once the self becomes God, theology turns into Instagram captions and doctrine becomes whatever gets the most likes, I guess. In the end, this clip exposes a culture severed from God, severed from humility, and severed from any grounding principle outside of the self. And when self-worship becomes the norm, absurdity itself isn't the exception, it's the doctrine. The tragedy is that people like her think they're preaching liberation when they're actually preaching societal decay. And unless America returns to a moral and spiritual foundation that recognizes God, not ego, as the author of life, this kind of thinking won't just persist. It'll become the default setting of our culture.
I said I wouldn't talk about my day.
And yeah, he's not wrong, but what he is also failing to mention is the men. If the men in this country do not get their fucking balls back, bro, the men in this country have been demasculated, overly feminized, while the women have actually been masculated. And if the men in this country do not get their fucking balls back, bro, and fucking fight back, we're fucking cooked. And the thing is, we're on the decline either way. We're on the decline either way. Okay, so we're already fucking cooked. All right. society is going to collapse within itself no matter what. So the way I see it is like you either spark a fucking revolution or uh, you wait until it's already too late, then society collapses, and then you fight back in the rebuilding process. Which is fine. I mean that it could happen that way. Uh, and it's probably going to happen that way because I don't want to say I'm going to give. I wouldn't give the men in this country too much faith. I mean, they've already let it slip this fucking far. So yeah, they're probably going to have to fight back out of desperation. Um, Either way, as long as it happens, I mean, if that happens, so be it. Uh, but yeah, that's basically what's going to happen. Feminism in general is the worst system that has been put into place that has actually done the most damage. All right, it has completely stripped men of their balls, bro. The men in this fucking country, nobody respects them. Women don't respect us anymore. Fucking the entire world doesn't respect us anymore. So, is it any wonder? Is it any wonder why fucking everybody runs over us? Dude, we don't demand respect. This is something that I can promise you, dude. It is not enough to earn respect, to deserve respect, to work for your respect. You have to also demand respect. Now, mind you, demanding respect without earning it and deserving it and working for it, now that's not right either. But if you're doing all the right things, if you're working your ass off, if you're providing and protecting for the people around you, the people that you love the most, your family, your wives, your children, then they should respect you. But the thing is, the thing is, they don't respect you. So you have to demand respect also.
Life on here, but I feel like I cannot be the only one who feels alone in this. Just went on a first date, and this is no offense to this man, obviously perfectly fine, normal, lovely date. It's getting to the point though that that's the problem. Like there's just nothing happening. And I just feel no sparks and no chemistry with people. And I feel bad because I feel like it's just me. I'm going out with really handsome, accomplished, interesting people, and I feel nothing. I feel like I'm just another girl. Like I'm one of a million, and there's just nothing special about me. Probably not.
There is nothing special about you. You are one in a million. This is the thing. This is her complaint right now. This bitch is literally complaining right now about the fact that she said it herself. These men that she's dating, they're handsome, they have money, successful, they're interesting. But what she's wanting is for these men to worship her. Listen, sweetheart, if these men are valuable, like you say, they're going to see you as a dime a dozen. Okay? You're going to have to make yourself special to them. They're not just going to automatically see this value that you have with yourself that the rest of us can't see. You're just not that special. You're not that unique.
Not presenting that great either, not like that sparkly or interesting or like dynamic at all, because I'm just so depleted. I know my person's out there, but starting to really question if I even have it in me to find them anymore. I listened to Maisie Neely's book today, and through all of the hardships she had, she just kept going and kept dating and kept seeing people, and I admire people so much that have that in them because I just don't have it in me. I thought I was safe and I thought I was done, and like having to do this again just feels like work every time I go on a date, and it feels like so hard.
That was actually unbelievably painful to witness. The crying, the vocal fry, the self-pity. It's like watching a generation raised on Disney movies realize in real time that the world doesn't work the way the TikTok algorithm promised them. And here's a hard truth you don't get to hear often. You are one in a million. That shouldn't devastate you. You've just been conditioned by modern culture to believe that you're supposed to be some kind of chosen, sparkly protagonist. You're not. Nobody's special. You could have $1 billion. That doesn't make you special. You could star in a hit movie of the year. That doesn't make you special. Absolutely nothing about your accomplishments or your feelings gives you cosmic importance. You're just a human being. In fact, you're not 1 in a million. You're actually closer to 1 in 8 billion. Now, I don't say that to dehumanize you, because here's the paradox. The only thing that does make you special is the same thing that makes every single person on earth special. You're created in the image of God. That's your dignity. That's your value. But when you abandon that foundation, when you replace faith with feelings and humility with narcissism, you end up exactly where you're at. Crying in your car, filming yourself.
You know what could make you special? Shutting the fuck up, cooking and cleaning and doing the fucking laundry. And if you actually were to get a good man, fucking don't nag him to death and give him some fucking pussy. Touch his pee-pee, he'll be happy. Feed him, fuck him, clean the fucking house, shut the fuck up. Simple as that. The thing is, if you can do that, and you can continue that over a long period of time and never refrain from doing that, yes, that makes you special. You know how I know that makes you special? Because most females can't do that. That's a very rare thing. That is a rare talent that females of this day and age actually have.
For strangers, begging for validation from people who don't even know your name and could care less. That's not stewardship of God's gifts. That's just mismanagement of everything He placed in front of you. And let's be brutally honest for a second. Posting yourself crying about your dating life is not going to solve your problems. It's not going to make you more attractive. It's not going to make you more stable or more fulfilled, for that matter. It's never been more evident that people who do stuff like this do it to stoke online sympathy in the same way millions of emotionally exhausted women now do, because the algorithm rewards.
It's attention seeking. It's attention seeking. That's what it is. These bitches nowadays, they're not just whores. They're attention whores.
This sort of dysfunction. But nobody actually cares. People are starving. People are literally dying. In Los Angeles alone, over 2,500 homeless residents die every single year in our streets. We have an entire generation that never even got a chance to live because of abortion, and yet here you are. You're mid-30 mids, panicking about not feeling special in a date. You are the problem. Not because you feel lonely. Everyone feels lonely at some point, but because you refuse to accept any accountability for your own patterns and behavior. You go on dates with handsome, accomplished, interesting men, and you don't feel anything. That's fine. But instead of asking why your expectations are impossible, why your emotional bandwidth is depleted, why your standards have been shaped by social media and not real human experience, you just externalize it for more attention on the internet. You blame the world, you blame the dating culture, you blame men, you blame everything but yourself. This is the cultural rot feminism has created. Feminism stripped women of accountability and replaced it with perpetual victimhood. It told women they were princesses, victims, icons, revolutionaries, anything except humans capable of error. And that mindset has consequences, folks. It creates a dating culture where men are terrified of approaching women. Women are exhausted from endless options and don't fulfill them. And everyone is performing for the internet instead of growing as people and building families in the image of God.
Guys, I'm being so fucking serious. The next man that enters my life, he is required to take me out on 3 dates before he gets a sleepover and before he gets my clothes off. Okay,
wow,
I'm being so fucking for real right now, because here's the thing. As soon as you spend the night with a man, not even doing anything, they stop asking you out on dates. Then, once you sleep with them, they don't want anything to fucking do with you anymore, which, like, whatever. I'm tired of men sexualizing me and objectifying me. Yeah, I've made it very easy for them to do that in the past, but, like, I'm done. I'm seriously fucking done. Like, hookup culture is fun for, like, 5 minutes. I miss connection. I miss having feelings. I miss being yearned for. I miss yearning.
Oh, God,
I can't just keep getting obsessed with a man for a week or two and then moving on to the next one. It's too exhausting, and it's honestly like mentally draining. So seriously, the next guy that entered my life, he has to take me on 3 dates. Not sleepovers, not hang outside his apartment. He has to take me to in-person public activity dates, whether it's dinner, whether it's going on a walk, something. I am tired of a man being like, let's go on 1 date and then you can come over and you can just come over every time you want to hang out. No. What happened to romance? I want romance. Anyways, celibacy era is going great so far. So good.
Folks, you can't convince me that this isn't peak modern delusion, okay? This woman is saying she's in her celibacy era, which apparently now means not putting out until after 3 dates. Are you kidding me? If you want celibacy, try an actual year without sleeping with anyone. Try finding a man who's willing to do the same. I challenge you. And guess what? You can find those men. Women love to say, oh, they don't exist. They don't exist. They do. You're just not looking for them in the right places. You can't be fishing in a swamp and expecting to pull out salmon. You're going to pull out a frog, okay? If you want a man with discipline, faith, long-term vision, and actual values, stop searching in environments that reward the exact opposite. But this is where the whole thing collapses, okay? Because she's outraged that she goes on 1 or 2 dates, spends the night, maybe sleeps with a guy, and then he loses all interest. And instead of asking what her choices have to do with that pattern, she blames men as a collective force. Meanwhile, she's admitting on camera that she's built her entire dating life around immediate attraction, quick intimacy, and reward-based sex. She's literally telling the world here that intimacy is a transaction for her, a perk unlocked after 3 outings, like a loyalty punch card of sorts. And when you treat sex as a reward structure, connection becomes impossible. You're reinforcing the exact psychology that makes men view sex as a goal, not an actual bond. And by the way, she's posting this on the internet. You've just given every opportunistic guy the playbook to get into your pants. If he wants to sleep with you, he now knows it takes 3 cheap dates, a couple of free drink vouchers, and boom, he's in. And yes, there are morally low men who will take advantage of this. They'll get their win and move on. But guess what? They only thrive because the culture enables them. They are the symptom of the same dysfunction that this woman is participating in. If we had a culture of chastity, modesty, discipline, and real celibacy, not the TikTok version, you wouldn't have men scheming to get laid. You'd have men scheming to build a family. But this isn't just about dating, folks. This is about a society that inverted everything. We've replaced romance with convenience. We've replaced commitment with consumer choice. We replaced virtue with vibes. And the biggest shift, well, we replaced delayed gratification with immediate gratification as the highest possible good. Modern feminism told women that hookup culture was some form of liberation, that sexual detachment was empowerment, that rejecting traditional values was some kind of retarded progress. But now we're watching the bill come due, and women are exhausted. Men are de-incentivized from building families, and nobody trusts anyone. Nobody bonds, nobody connects, just people cycling through 5 situationships a year and wondering why the hell they feel empty. This woman says she misses connection. She says she misses yearning. She says she misses something. Of course you do, okay? Humans are not built for disposable intimacy. The human psyche isn't designed for endless beginnings and no endings, okay? When your body is bonded to someone chemically, spiritually, emotionally, and then ripped apart over and over again, that literally drains you. All the neuroscience here is clear. Sex is bonding. Casual sex is just psychological contradiction. And after enough cycles of bond breaking, okay, you'll lose the ability to connect deeply at all. Your heart just builds up scar tissue, and it becomes hardened, and you become ugly. Inside and out. Now, folks, beyond the dating sphere, feminism has seeped into every major American institution, and it's having widespread negative effects. One of the most concerning areas is the judicial system, where a growing number of ideologically driven female judges, many of them shaped by modern feminist frameworks, are softening consequences, prioritizing so-called empathy over actual accountability, and letting violent offenders walk with little to no punishment. By the way, this isn't compassion. It's just a subversion of justice, and it's creating a system where criminals face fewer consequences while communities and women are actively paying the price.
At the August trial for Abdi Fattah Youssef, the jury heard evidence that he ran his home health care company, Promise Health, out of a mailbox at a Central Avenue address where multiple other home health care companies were supposedly located. Yusuf and his wife, Lol Ahmed, were charged with stealing $7.2 million of taxpayer money through Medicaid overbilling in a personal care assistant, or PCA, scam. The couple allegedly spent tens of thousands of the fraud money on luxury items for themselves. Despite the jury swiftly convicting Yusuf, Judge Sarah West last week decided they got it wrong.
It's reversing or overturning a jury's verdict.
Defense attorney Joe Tamburino, who's not affiliated with this case, reviewed the decision and analyzed it for KARE 11 News. He says Judge West ruled that the state's case relied heavily on circumstantial evidence and that she believed the state did not rule out other reasonable inferences.
That, in fact, there could have been other reasonable theories other than guilt in this case. That's what it comes down to.
Despite the ruling, even Judge West wrote that she is troubled by the manner in which fraud was able to be perpetuated at Promise Health.
I was stunned.
State Representative Kristen Robbins, chair of the House Fraud Prevention and State Oversight Committee, says she's now reviewing if any state laws need to be tightened.
We want to strengthen state law so that we can get prosecutions out of these cases, because clearly a jury thought he
the gayest thing that you could possibly do is vote. Congratulations. If you want to be gay, go vote. The only thing that's going to save this fucking country is all-out revolution. So there's something, the gayest thing that you could possibly do is vote. Congratulations. If you want to be gay, go vote. The only thing that's going to save this fucking country is all-out revolution. So there's something that American people absolutely have to fucking realize. We are way past the point to where voting is going to bring this country back. I don't care who you have in office. I don't care if it's Donald Trump. I don't care if it's fucking J.D. Vance. I don't care if it's any Republican. We are far beyond the point to where any elected official can save this country. The only thing that's going to save this fucking country is all-out revolution. All-out revolution. But in order for that to happen, the men in this country are going to have to grow their fucking balls back. The married men in this country, they're going to have to take their balls out of their wives' purses, put their wives in the kitchen where they fucking belong, and tell her, look, we have a revolution to fucking fight, and I need your ass out of the way. You can make sandwiches for me and the boys, but as for right now, we have a revolution to fight. And there is no other thing, there is no other way that we're going to get this fucking country back. Voting is not going to do it.
They rob you blind and you thank them for it. That's a tragedy. That's a scam. That's why I'm saying this right now. Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs won't ship your job to China. Not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap laborers. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crushed your working class, and taught you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, lift millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people.
He's absolutely right, dude. The leaders of this fucking country do not care about the people. You look at countries like China, dude, the way that they improve the quality of their country is because they work to improve the quality of the people. We destroy the quality of the people in this country. While the political figures, the leaders of this country, get richer and richer. They're playing a political game that has to absolutely be deconstructed from the ground up.
You also benefit from it. What did your oligarchs do? They bought yachts, private jets, mansions with golf course driveways. They manipulate the market, dodge tax, and poured billions into endless wars. And you get stagnant wages, crippling healthcare costs, cheap dopamine, debt, and flag wave probably made in China.
They make us fat, happy, and poor while they get fat, happy, and rich. How long do you think this is going to last? How long do you think it's going to last until the entire system implodes? And I can't fucking stand it, dude. I know so many people are still stuck in this fucking way of thinking, dude. It's like, oh, we just got to vote. We got to get out there and vote. We got to show up in numbers. Bullshit. The best thing that you can do right now is show them that they don't have you by the balls. That's how they know they have you by the balls, is when you go fucking vote. You pay taxes and you fucking vote. That's how they know they fucking got you. We're past that. You have to wake the fuck up. We're past voting. Donald Trump was supposed to be the most extreme right-wing fucking president, or at least some people thought, that we've seen in a long fucking time. And we've had him in office for a 4-year term, and now he's going on 2 years of his second term. And we still have parents transitioning their children. What the fuck is going on? There is no political figure that's going to save us now.
For 40 years, both China and the United States benefit from the trade, the manufacturing, but only one of us use that wealth to build. This isn't China's fault. This is yours. You let this happen. You let oligarchs feed your lies. Well, they made you fat, poor, and addicted. Now they blame China for a mess they made. I don't think so. I don't think you need another tariff. You need to wake up. You need to take your country back. I think you need a revolution.
He's telling the truth. And he said it himself. We need a revolution. We have to take our country back. Now look, the only peaceful way that I could think to do it is to stop paying all taxes and stop voting. Completely. Everybody has to stop paying taxes and stop fucking voting. 100%. It's literally gotten to the point now that the gayest thing that you could possibly do is vote. Congratulations. If you want to be gay, go vote. Going to the fucking polls and voting is now the equivalent to gay butt sex. That's what it's come down to. I can't think of a gayer fucking thing to do than to go fucking vote. The only way to not be fucking gay at this point is to take the fight to the fucking streets, an all-out revolution. But the men in this fucking country have no fucking balls. The men in this fucking country are the women. Go fucking figure. Men have to get their fucking balls back and fight this fucking revolution. And if it can't be done peacefully, by stopping the paying of the taxes, by stopping the voting, then it just can't be done peacefully. The fight has to go to the streets. Blood must be shed. I kind of hate to say it, but that's where we're at. So wake the fuck up, people. Wake the fuck up and take your goddamn country back. Y'all be sure to give your boy a like and follow. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm wrong. The gayest thing that you could possibly do is vote. Congratulations. If you want to be gay, go vote. The only thing that's going to save this fucking country is all-out revolution. So there's something that American people absolutely have to fucking realize. We are way past the point to where voting is going to bring this country back.
Well, I would certainly exist, but like you said, maybe not as an American. Certainly that's influenced in some measure. But I think that the kind of immigration that we had for a long time in the country, it's different than the immigration that we have now. And let's just say for openers, it's different immigrants. They're coming from a different place with a different culture, a different religion. It's not the same as it was. So first, you have a qualitative difference. My ancestors, for the most part, I have 3 European grandparents from Ireland and Italy, 1 from Mexico. They came from Europe. They came from a society where there's a common ancestry, there's a common religion, common civilization. The people that have come in since 65, since Hart-Celler, they're coming from China, India, the Northern Triangle, Mexico, Venezuela. And so first, they're just different people. Secondly, it's a quantitative difference. There's way more, and it's an unceasing, always increasing wave. For the first 3 or 4 waves of immigration, you would have a major influx of immigrants, and then it would stop.
Values,
and then you'd have another wave, and then it would stop. This one, it just keeps going up for 35 years, and it's too many. So that's really where I would draw the distinction between maybe where I originate from. I would even just simply call that immigration. What this is an invasion. It's a completely different policy.
But you mentioned,
can't even call it the same thing.
You mentioned Mexico in that list, and your father is half Mexican. So yeah, I mean, by your criteria, part of the invasion would include your father, presumably, and his immediate descendants who came from Mexico.
Not really true, because when my father's ancestors came here, it was a small fraction of the total immigrants that came from Mexico. I don't believe that we should have zero immigrants forever, or even zero immigrants from non-white countries. But you have to draw the distinction. My father's father, he was here in the 40s and 50s. It was his parents, or I believe either his parents or grandparents, that came here even earlier. Up until 1965, 90% of the immigrants were coming from Europe. I have no problem with that. If we have 10% of them coming from Mexico or Latin America, maybe that's reasonable, but that's not what it is now. Now you've got 10 million illegals in 4 years under Joe Biden, and you got millions more legal immigrants from China, India, Venezuela, El Salvador, and it's so many with no break for assimilation, and they're all from non-white countries. It's transforming what America is. And again, that's the distinction. That's what makes it unacceptable.
And hey, I do apologize about the background noise. I am actually at work right now. I'm actually sitting in my crane watching other people work at the moment. What can I say? I'm just a hard-working, big, strong man. These are all just opinions coming from a white Christian blue-collar man. So I think basically what Nick is trying to say in this video is, for the most part, he wants to preserve the traditional American way of life that he's accustomed to and that he's comfortable around, right? And the thing is, I think everybody shares that belief to a degree. You know, I think that's why, you know, we have places like in your big cities, you have Chinatown, right? I think that's why in a lot of places you have predominantly black neighborhoods. I think you have like all black schools. You have all black TV channels, BET. You know, I think people like to be around their own people. I believe everybody has a sense of tribalism. You know, Nick Fuentes himself has said that we're actually living through one of the largest social experiments ever, you know, which is the United States, with all of these different colors and races and nationalities and religions, belief systems. And the thing is, like, we never knew how it was going to work out, but we're figuring it out. We're finding out that for the most part, you know, even though we're all here together, it's a melting pot, you know, people still tend to want to be around their own people. But the thing is, it's okay for everybody to say that they want to be around their own people. You know, black people have no problem saying that they prefer to be around their own people. You know what I mean? But when a white person says, look, hey, I want to live in a predominantly white Christian neighborhood, right? Like, I want to send my kids to a predominantly white Christian school. You know what I mean? Whenever somebody says that, everybody gets all up in arms and starts screaming racist. You know what I mean? Starts screaming segregation. Not to mention that we've been told that being racist is the worst thing in the fucking world. But to a degree, you have to just sometimes chalk it up as pattern recognition, right? Like, you don't want to go wearing a Rolex through a bad, predominantly black neighborhood, flashing it around. You're likely to get robbed. And that's not racist. That's pattern recognition. And I think that's why Nick Fuentes has the following that he has. I think that a lot of people, in particular, white Christian nationalists, have shared this same opinion, right? Whoa, we got jets flying overhead. Yeah, I think a lot of people share this same opinion, and why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't everybody have the right to live around their own people? Every nationality, every religion, you know, every group of people is already doing that. They could be open about it. They could say, I want to live around my own people. I prefer to live around my own people. As white people, why can't we say we want to live in predominantly white neighborhoods with white Christian people, with traditionally white Christian values, send our kids to traditionally white Christian schools, okay, without being called racist? I think that's got to change, y'all. Real quick, I do appreciate everybody who watches my content, so please hit that like button, leave your comments. I do want to hear what other people think about this, and please subscribe to your boy. Subscribe and follow. Hit that bell icon and follow your boy. Thank you.
What number are you asking the court to set your child support at today?
Honestly, I'm not expecting to pay child support at all.
You want the court to set it at 0?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why are you asking for $0?
Because me and Miss McDuff, we fully co-parent. I fully get my son throughout the week, 4 days out the week. I'm fully capable of taking care of him when he's in my custody. She does the same as well. So I don't understand why I would be paying child support when we split. When she have him, she take care of him, and when I have him, I take care of him. She don't drop him off with anything. I don't drop him off with anything, and we fully take care of him. So I don't see why we have to pay extra.
When did you and Miss McDuff stop living together?
I would say the ending of March of 2024.
They ain't trying to hear that shit.
And since that time, have you paid any money directly to Miss McDuff?
Yes.
How much?
I roughly, maybe off the top of my head, $400.
Okay. Are you in agreement to the order containing a retroactive child support judgment against you after credit, or are you asking that you be ordered to pay $0 in back child support?
Pay $0 in back child support.
Okay. Can you tell the court why?
I wouldn't understand why I'll be paying back child support, because when we only been split for a year. Before then, I was paying the rent, the bills. We were both taking care of the kids. It was no problem. We only been split for a year, and I still get my kid 4 days out the week, and I'm fully taking care of my kid when he's in my care, and she fully take care of him when she's in his care.
Because he has the kid 4 days out of the week. But he works, I bet she doesn't. Even if she does, I bet she doesn't make the amount of money that he does. And the state is incentivized to charge you no matter what. So they're going to charge him no matter what, I bet.
Okay, and right now you're seeing the child at least
4. I would get him Thursday afternoon and drop him off Monday afternoon.
Do you have any safety concerns, Mr. Fox, with Miss McDuff knowing your address?
No, sir.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Okay, then I will accept the agreed portions of this order, make the agreed portions the order of the court. I will order child support at $429 per month. I will order a retroactive child support judgment of $5,400.
Wait. To who? To who?
Order that paid at $90 per month. Order court costs as billed. Anything further, Mr. Dell? The exchange location. The exchange location will be at the residence of the child. Mr. Fox, it is your obligation to pick this child up and take this child back home. Anything you and Miss McDuff agree to outside of that is fine. But neither one of you have safety concerns, so I don't see any reason to do a neutral exchange location.
What number are you asking the court to set?
My question would be, why would I be paying child support, and why would I be paying back child support for?
You're paying child support because your child doesn't reside with you. Your child resides with his mother. Y'all made her the primary conservator.
So since she had him for 3 days out of a week, and because he stays with her for 3 days out of a week, I have to pay $400 and some odd number you just said a week just because he stays with him for 3 days out of a week?
Mr. Fox, you did not contest her being the primary conservator, did you? No, you need to y'all being joint managing conservators, with her being primary and getting to determine where the child lives, where the child's residence is.
So because she gets to determine where the kids reside, I have to pay $400 and some odd number because she gets to determine where my son stays.
Yes,
even
sir.
though I give my son 4 days out of a week and it's 7 days out of a week. So if I get him for 4 and she gets him for 3.
Now tell me how that's good for the kid. Tell me how that's good for the kid. If the kid stays more than half the amount of time with the father, he still has to pay child support. He might be fucking broke by the time the kid comes to stay with him. And he's still paying the baby mama that only has the kid 3 days out of the fucking week. What if he can't even feed the kid whenever he's got the kid the majority of the time? But they don't care. The state doesn't care, bro. The state doesn't care. He works, probably.
He has a job. He makes money. And the state is in the business of making money. They're not in the business of properly taking care of the children. They don't care about the children. They don't care about the children, y'all. They care about making fucking money. I wonder what state this is happening in.
3, just because she can decide where he stays, I have to pay for that.
Mr. Fox, if you want to be the primary conservator, you can file something to be the primary conservator. But right now, you are not.
So because I'm not the primary conservator, I have to pay for it. I'm still trying to get it because I'm not the primary conservator.
Well, Mr. Fox, I'm not going to be able to explain it to you because I've already told you.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you just keep saying the same thing over
Because I'm not getting it. I'm not understanding how my son's only be with.
And here's the thing: if he tried to get primary conservatorship, he wouldn't get it. He wouldn't get it. He wouldn't be able to afford if he used every bit of money that he had to pay for a lawyer and fight for custody of that kid. They would drain him fucking dry. The family court system would drain every fucking penny that he's got, and then they would say, "Okay, now it's time to settle out of court," and he would still not get primary conservatorship.
The mother 3 days out of a week.
Let me give you some more information.
Like what?
You don't like my ruling. If you think it's not fair,
yeah, I do.
You have 3 days to appeal, 30 days to file a motion for new trial. This case is out of the 254th District Court. That is Judge Kim Brown. She might have a different opinion from mine.
Of course. I would love to get set up with that.
Okay, so if you need information on how to appeal, the attorney's office,
she won't have a different opinion
to you, sir.
Please do.
Okay. Any
Judge,
other questions?
Judge, the payback on the retroactive support was 80 or 90?
80. I'm sorry.
At 5,400, correct?
Yes, 5,400.
Thank you, Judge. That's all.
Okay. Any questions, Ms. McDuff?
Ma'am.
All right, then thank you both for appearing here today, and you're both free to go.
My question would be, why would I be paying child support and why would I be paying back child support for?
You're paying child support because you're
this country back. I don't. The gayest thing that you could possibly do is vote. Congratulations. If you want to be gay, go vote. The only thing that's going to save this fucking country is all-out revolution. So there is something that American people absolutely have to fucking realize. We are way past the point to where voting is going to bring this country back. I don't care who you have in office. I don't care if it's Donald Trump. I don't care if it's fucking J.D. Vance. I don't care if it's any Republican. We are far beyond the point to where any elected official can save this country. The only thing that's going to save this fucking country is all-out revolution. All-out revolution. But in order for that to happen, the men in this country are going to have to grow their fucking balls back. The married men in this country, they're going to have to take their balls out of their wives' purses, put their wives in the kitchen where they fucking belong, and tell her, look, we have a revolution to fucking fight, and I need your ass out of the way. You can make sandwiches for me and the boys, but as for right now, we have a revolution to fight. And there is no other thing, there is no other way that we're going to get this fucking country back. Voting is not going to do it.
They rob you blind and you thank them for it. That's a tragedy. That's a scam. That's why I'm saying this right now. Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs ship your job to China. Not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap laborers. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crushed your working class, and taught you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, leave millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people.
He's absolutely right, dude. The leaders of this fucking country do not care about the people. You look at countries like China, dude, the way that they improve the quality of their country is because they work to improve the quality of the people. We destroy the quality of the people in this country. While the political figures, the leaders of this country, get richer and richer. They're playing a political game that has to absolutely be deconstructed from the ground up.
You also benefit from it. What did your oligarchs do?